So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. You know, before I get into the watch market update show, I want to ask all of you for a big favor, and I believe you guys are really doing it for real. You guys are really helping us out. Just don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like our video. That's basically something you can do for us. So the channel can continue growing, and we can continue getting exposure out there, and people get to see our channel. I had somebody that reached out to me this week and told me that the algorithm sent them to our channel, and today he is a subscriber. So again, don't forget to like our video and subscribe to the channel if you would like. And if you would like to share the video with your buddies, your chums, that'll help out too. Right, guys? Thank you so much again. Guys, I want to talk to you about a subject, that you all need to know about this subject. And I've been talking about this person for the last year and a half. You can tell when a channel is full of fugazi, full of fake content, full of fake subscribers, views, comments, likes, and all that stuff. And I'm talking about a gentleman that he is from London, And as you know, a lot of these people, they are YouTubers and they're watch dealers, that live in London. In London, they have made the crossover to a country which I know very well because I have dealt with that country, and I sell at times material. For all of you that don't know, I am in the stone business, natural stone business. I import material from Italia. I import material from Spain. I import material from all over the world. But those are my two backbone countries that I bring my material from. So I know this country, the way they deal. I'm talking about Dubai. And a lot of these hucksters that live in London, their watch dealers have made the crossover to go live in Dubai. Dubai is a country that you can get away with a lot of things over there. If you're a shady character, that is the place to go. And you might ask yourself, but how do you know all this? I know all this because I deal with these people. I deal with these people, and it's a place that you pay 0% in tax. You pay 0% in tax, so you go over there. You don't have to report nothing, and you don't pay no taxes. So you understand what I'm trying to say is, you can make yourself. Listen to me and learn. Listen to me and learn. You can give yourself a salary, so you understand what I mean, of $2 million a year. You don't pay 0%. That's it. You pay nothing. If you some kind of a shady character, that you're running around, you don't want to be caught, you don't want to be seen, you go over there. You go over there and you get away with all that. You don't pay 0% in taxes. You pay yourself, like I said again, $5 million, $10 million. 0% you pay in taxes for yourself. It's an unbelievable place for the delinquents. It's an unbelievable place, ladies and gentlemen. And it's unbelievable. And you have this person that has made the crossover from London. I'm even going to tell you the city, from London to Dubai. It's this company which I call, C, the letter C, M as in mother, and the letter C, CMC. And they have this character there, which I call termite teeth. Termite teeth. He's like that, he has like I don't know, he has like another chia pet, in his hair, And but ladies and gentlemen, I saw a video of this person, and it was very disturbing seeing this person, because when these hucksters and hoodwink, they hit the bottom of the barrel, cuando tocan fondo, when they touch, in life again, for you to go back up, you have to hit bottom. You have to hit bottom. You understand me? To go back up in life, to get back up in life, you need to touch the bottom of the ocean. There's no more room to go down. You understand me? There's no more room. ¿Me entienden, lambones? ¿Me entienden? ¿Me entienden? You need to hit bottom. I mean, this is square business. This is not no Mickey Mouse conversation. This is for real. So this guy, which I call Termite Teeth, he is the owner of CMC, Termite Teeth. He's wandering the streets of Dubai, unbelievable. His incoherence, he's unbelievable, mental, emotional coherence. He's just there, he's walking around, that lifestyle that you guys have been maintaining, this mashugana, that he's over there in Dubai, let me explain to you. For you to get all those things that I was talking about, 0% taxes, pay yourself your own check of $2 million and pay 0%, you got to be an active person living over there for, I really don't remember if it's 6 years. If you know what it is, you tell me, because you guys are smarter than me. I'm a dodo bird. Yo soy un lambón y un palomo. But you got to be living over there, I don't know. You got to be living there 5, 6, 7 years. Something like that, okay? Like a trifecta, 5, 6, 7. Trifecta, 5, 6, 7. You got to be living over there in Dubai. And you can come back home, to London. We're going to talk about London. You can come back home, I don't know if it's a month of the year or 3 weeks of the year. You can go visit, but you got to go back home to get all these perks, these perks that, you know what I'm trying to say. Like, the perks that the Iron Sheik tunic man, gets. Those kind of perks. You got to be living over there. Papi, I'm dropping knowledge here. I'm dropping knowledge. Beast knowledge. Yo soy una jodienda. So if you are that person that you're running, you go over there to, and you put on the Iron Sheik tunic, with the black thing here, you understand me? The tunic. You know what I'm trying to say, So you go over there, the perks. You go over there, you get the perks. They give you all that stuff. They settle you in. Because you're going to come over there y tú vas a ser un bandido. You're going to be a bandit over there, You're going to be over there. So ladies and gentlemen, again, going back to CMC. He was the first one to do that crossover, He did the crossover, and then you had the other kid, Harry Potter. He's, Harry Potter's hanging around with the Iron Sheik, tunic man, tunic man. The Iron Sheik tunic man, that he has, yeah, exactly. Eso mismo, Alberto, eso mismito. Bravo. You go over there, they give you the camel. You understand me? You go like that. You keep on going. It's unbelievable. You guys don't want to learn. The perks. You go over there. So ladies and gentlemen, you can go there. You can go to Dubai. And you have there, the Walrus Fat Bastard. You have the Walrus Fat Bastard. You have Harry Potter. Harry Potter. The guy from London too. All these people from over there. Delincuente pa' allá, pa' Dubai. Eres delincuente pa' allá. You're a delinquent, you go over there. Because they take care of you over there. Es una jodienda. But you might be thinking, why are you talking about this? Well, let me explain to you why. Some years ago, in the Corona era, you had a gentleman, which I call me, because I don't call nobody here by their name. I respect that. I mock them. I make fun of them. I tease them. You know that? That's what I do. So we had a gentleman that flim-flammed all of you deeply. Flim-flam you deeply. And his name is Trucking Sweat Stained Hat with jumbo whiteout ears, skin tight leotard jeans. You know what I'm saying? 4 feet 11 inches and he hoodwinked you and he flim-flammed you and he fleeced you out of over $10 million in consignment watches. That fella, you know, he did this to you deep, 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 right? So when he did that, this person, he started doing something that you're not going to believe, ladies and gentlemen. You know, Papi, we know that he's over there. We know that. We don't want to get into that part, but we know he's there, Mr. Donut. But thank you so much for the heads up. Exactly, Mr. Damon. Exactly. So anybody can see now, you know, because I don't use names here. My subscribers will use all the names for me. I don't use them. But if you want to know who the person is, you look at the comments in the live and you see it there who it is. Because my subscribers son una jodienda, they're for real. So this person, after he flim-flammed all of you out of millions of dollars, he was doing so good. He's mesmerized all of you that he opened a watch group. You know, to join his watch group, you had to pay him $2,000 to get into his watch group. And there was a bunch of palomos and lambones that pay him the $2,000. You know, he said that he had a moment there, over 2,000, you know, subscribers, and he was giving him the perk. You know, you join that and you will get a perk. Deep, deep, deep. This is chapter 10. Don't forget how to become a Muppet Boiler Room secondary great watch market dealer. Chapter 10. And what do I get? I get this. I get this deep, deep, deep. And ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this. So this kit, you know, trucking sweat stain hat with jumbo whiteout ears, skin tight leotard jeans, 4 feet, 11 inches, was charging $2,000 to join his private watch group, and you will get all kind of perks. The word of the day is perks. 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 Don't forget that. Perks is the name of the word today. And he charged $2,000. Anyway, he did that blueprints, and everybody followed his blueprints. If Mr. Trucking Sweat Stain is hearing me, if you're hearing me, Trucking Sweat Stain hat, I'm giving you, you know, you did it, Papi. You were the one that did the blueprints, and it worked like a charm. It worked like a charm. People were giving $2,000. Domil Cavilla, right? People were giving him donations. People were giving him, people that didn't have eyesight visions were sending him, you know, money. People that needed ¿cómo se dice? You know, riñón. Riñón. You know what riñón is? Can somebody help me with the word? You know, riñón. ¿Cómo se dice en inglés? Riñón. Un diablo, mano. Kidney. You know, people were sending, they had somebody there, a poster child, they put him in front of the YouTube TV, and they were, you know, unbelievable, giving kidney. You know, people were sending thousands and thousands of dollars. This thing worked like a charm. It worked like a charm. So I'm telling you, the watch group, you know, doing this, you know, like a fund, a go fund. I don't know what the name of the word is. But ladies and gentlemen, so we have this character now because Trucking Sweat Stain hat is away over here, you know? He's away. Hey, let me out. Let me out. Let me out. He's away. He's away there for a long time because he did this to many people. Many people. Many people. I mean, like that deep. It went all the way in to, you know, deep. You know what I'm saying? Somebody help me out. It went deep for real. You know, he was even doing deepness to people. I don't know. He was cleaning up your sinuses. He was waxing your sinus congestion. This is unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. And there was a group, because that group that I'm talking about, Trucking Sweat Stain hat, you have there Deputy Boxing Black Eyes. You had the Dallas, you know, out of the Lone Star State, Cockeye, his partner, Cockeye, you know. He had an eye, you know, you had that one. In that group, you had the Warris, Fat Bastard. It was a bunch of them, you know, it was a gang. It was all of them. They were all together. It's unbelievable. But anyway, he went away. He went away. They locked him up. You know, you have prune face. You know, you have prune face too. You know, he became a politician because, you know, he flim-flammed too many people. And they say that Prune Face's son was selling Fugazi watches. Listen, this is a greasy, oily situation, guys. It's greasy, you know? But I'm telling you all this so you understand. All these people were getting perks, you know, money. But what were they giving you in return? This. They were giving you return. You liked it deep, you know? But me, I give it to you for real, for free. You know? Exactly. He was that. He was this. He was this. But he got you. He might have been this, but he got you deep. You understand me? People now, he's this. No, he's not. He's not this. He gave you this. So let's leave him alone already because that's something unbelievable. So this gentleman from London, he made the crossover over there, you know? And then the rest have followed, you know? Harry Potter, the Walrus Fat Bastard, and so on. And I can tell you more. But I'm going to tell you these three so you are familiar. And ladies and gentlemen, it really looks like, you know, the CMC. You know, they have like a green logo, CMC. You know, the termite thief, you know, mental, emotional distress. He's over there in Dubai, wandering the streets. And you're not going to believe what he's doing, ladies and gentlemen. He is opening from the blueprints, from trucking sweat-stained hat, jumbo whiteout ears. He's opening something unbelievable, just like that kid over there. He's opening a watch group, a private watch group with perks, with all kind of perks. For 100 euros a month, listen to this, a membership, access to this unbelievable, listen to me, please, if Mr. Blair's here, if Mr. Damon is here, if Mr. Donut is here, please help me out. I don't know too much about this. Let me have a little bit of jungle juice because, you know, this is unbelievable what I'm telling you. This is gold. What I'm telling you is gold. You know, oro molido. Unbelievable, good stuff, man. This thing is unbelievable. It's good for the digestion, you know? It's unbelievable. A gentleman just said there, I didn't say this. Look at the comments. He says, you know, once a sucker, always a sucker. I didn't say that. I respect all of you. Ustedes lo que son palomos. So, ladies and gentlemen, for free. But you're going to have an awakening now. You're going to have an awakening. So this Meshuggah out of CMC from London made the crossover to Dubai. He is charging people $100 a month to join his private watch group with perks that you won't believe. Backdoor perks. You know, backdoor in the back. I don't know what they do in the back. I don't know, but back there, perks. And listen to this. Listen to this, how desperate this dumb ski is. How desperate he is. And if you pay in a year in advance, if you pay a year in advance, instead of paying 100 a month, you pay 900 euros for the whole year. He gives you a discount of 300 euros. And people están enfermos, people are sick. You know, and this guy, you see him in the video, he looks like he's taking too many, you know, those pills, you know, that make you dizzy, you know? I don't know. If you know the name of the pills, you put it up there, you know? You see, there it is. Somebody's putting it for you, you take it from there. He looks, you know, this is when you're desperate already. You know, when your house turned upside down, you know, you lost everything. You lost respect. You lost your self-esteem. You know, you become a gigolo. You know, a gigolo. I don't know, you become a gigolo. You know, regala las nalgas for this, you know, for this. Unbelievable. And so the guy's over there now asking for that. He's in YouTube TV, sitting in the backyard. Oh, we're over in private work group. And then he did like a haircut, like a mushroom. I don't know. He did like my son had a mushroom haircut back in the very 90s. It's unbelievable. He has like a line in the back, and he's sitting there in the car, and they're driving him around over there in Dubai. I know this country. This is where they go to. This is where they go to hide, not to pay taxes, to pay themselves a salary and don't pay no taxes. It's unbelievable. And the guy is doing that, ladies and gentlemen, and you won't believe it. Then the other one is doing, this is unbelievable. He's over there doing auctions. He's doing auctions. He's doing raffles. He's doing sweepstakes, because they have to stay over there so they can prevent from being, slapped around. These people over there, those oil men over there in Dubai, they don't play around. Those people over there in Dubai will pull your Fruit Loom, hands, underwears down, and start smacking, pop, 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 pop. They don't play around over there. These people don't play around. You understand me? These people don't play around over there. I'm going to tell you this again. They have rules in that country. Rules. Not suggestions, but rules. You understand me? They have rules over there. Not suggestions, rules. And they don't play around. So when you go over there, and you stop being a little shady, like this gentleman looks in TV, walking around, drinking too many medicine. I don't know what he's drinking, but his eyes pupil looks small, and he's probably drinking cheap whiskey, because over there to get whiskey is not the most easiest thing in the world. It's unbelievable, and he's asking for money, mucho dinero. Y ustedes lambones, you're giving it to him. Now I'm for real now. If this lambón, which he has fake subscribers, fake views, fake comments, fake likes, is asking you guys for memberships, and you guys are going to give it to him, ladies and gentlemen, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. Because I do a service for you guys for free, where you guys could come and blow steam. Where you come and blow. I've been telling you about this guy for a year and a half. Papa, you know how long I've been exposing all these channels? Does anybody out there know how long I've been exposing these channels? Papi, for years. For years. Watch channels come to my channel to pick up the blueprints of what I say. I know what I'm trying to tell you. I know what I'm trying to tell you. So this person is asking for $100 a month to join his private, his private watch group. Like I said again, these people are unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. He's walking the Dubai streets. He's wondering, loco. Papi, when you gotta make payments, flats, un piso in Dubai, and you got a Range Rover, and you got overheads, and you have money here, money there, and you're living that lifestyle, which is a lie. It's a lie. All these watch dealers are liars. I'm going to tell you something that you need to listen carefully, because this, I might not say it again. I'm going to tell you this. Of a percentage of 100%, I'm going to tell you this. There's a percentage of watch dealers that have been, ready for this, incarcerated, in jail, in federal jail. They come to this field because it's very simple for them. You understand me? Papi, I'm the #1 watch channel in the world. The #1. I drop you everything for free, for free, for free, for free. Not even a happy face you send me. See, Kino. And the one that's telling me to say all these things he's right. He's right. It's no other than Joaquin to you, Kino to me. It's enough already, guys. No, it's enough. No. If you're gonna give away your free money to all these Muppet boiler room secondary great watch market dealers, then I'm gonna say, hey man, me too then. Because I'm for real. I'm not a liar. You know, I'm not like that guy, you know, Uncle Johnny, aka Eddie Monster. After he did this to you deep, now he crossed over as a good guy. But when he was giving it to you, he didn't care. But now he's doing a crossover. You understand me? Now they're doing the crossover. Now he wants to expose all those dealers and channels and backpacks. Now, you know how long I've been doing it? For 3 years. It's what it is, man. So, you know. Flip. And I'm telling you this because you guys need to know these things. You need to know these things. Because I'm telling you, I told Kino already, you know, it's, you know what? We're already giving him, you know, giving these people, you know, chapters, you know, 1 through 10, how to become a backpack, you know, watch dealer, Muppet watch dealer. You remember that guy? The Academy watch guy, that guy was selling a piece of paper, you know, 4 sheets for $1,500. And there was a bunch of palomos and lambones, you know, the guy, you know, I think he was a little Mexican guy, you know, and he was all over YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere, you know, and he would show you his Bugatti and his Bentley and all that. Papi, there's money to be made. See, I'm using my talents. You know, Paco Gambino told me, Juan, you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. Paco Gambino will tell me, he will sit me down. He said, you have a talent. I'm self-proclaiming myself. That Paco Gambino will tell me, Juan, you can do whatever you want. You're an incredible salesperson. You know? You have charisma. You're well-liked, well-behaved, well-groomed. You can do whatever you want. But you chose the right path, the honest path. You think ese lambón, that guy from CMC that has termite teeth, you know, termite teeth, has talent. He can't even talk. You know? Paco Gambino will tell me, Juan, you're so good you can sell ice to an Eskimo. Paco Gambino is unbelievable. Paco Gambino, 5 feet 4 inches. He will scare you with his words. You don't know about that. You don't know about that kind of stuff. Termite teeth. I'm telling you, termite teeth. It's unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. And every watch Muppet dealer from YouTube, they come to this channel to copy everything on a delay. On a delay. Unbelievable what they're doing. $100 per month. And then the other gentleman, you know, the worst fat bastard, making believe that his go fast car, you know, Lambo is broken, the motor blew up because they can't pay no more, papi. There's no more. Listen to this. This is CMC's last hurrah. You know what a last hurrah is? Damon, please explain to the people out there what their last hurrah is. I don't want to explain it. This is their last hurrah before they jump ship. You don't know about this kind of stuff, ladies and gentlemen. You don't know about this. You tell them 5 foot inches. 5 foot inches. And let me tell you something. Those guys over there, those oil men, they don't mess around. Those people have total control of your passport. They have total control of you. They have total control. And if you own those people, listen and learn. If you own those people, $5, until you don't pay them the $5, you're not leaving. No, you're not gonna go over there and dance with these people, with the tunic, the Iron Sheik tunic, uniform, You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna go over there. You understand what I'm trying to say? You understand? The final act, the last hurrah, the final act, papi. This is their final act. And it's embarrassing that this person is a pity. When people will do that narcotic, that it was called crack, and the people look like zombies walking in the street. This is what this man is already looking like. He's looking like a lost soul. Un arma perdido. Para cogerlo ustedes. Papi, this is their last act. And then in America, you have people telling you, you don't understand how people send messages to me. What are you talking about that the watch market is dead? Why are you saying that the watch market is dead? Papi, you know how Dubai is? Dubai, they have there so much inventory that they don't know what to do with that inventory. Exactly. There's so much inventory, you don't have an idea. And these motherfuckers that wear that tunic, they don't need to sell it. You know why? Because they have so much frogging money that they don't give a shit. They'll just sit on it. You understand me? They'll continue living like nothing. But not that guy, the Walrus fat bastard, the other Harry Potter, that he's under the wings of, the Iron Sheik tunic man, Harry Potter. And now you have this kid, this gentleman, that guy, walking around the streets, oil money, papi. These people don't play around. Listen to me, I send. There was a moment there that I was sending, I was sending probably a moment there, I was sending a can of goods to Dubai. If you don't know what a can is, you Google it, because I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. Those are real words. Real words. I will send cans, full of stone to their country to do pool decks and all that stuff. I will send them coral stone. You know what coral stone is? You know what keystone is? I will send them that over there. And those people didn't play around with the money. They have a time frame, and that's the way they cut you and they wire you. You can't fraud with those people, Bobby. You're practically dancing with, con gente que te va a romperte la cicatriz. You understand me? So right now, this is going on, and you're having. Let me tell you something. Because we don't want to just talk about London. I'll talk to you about Miami. You have people here in Miami that haven't sold watches in some time. But they're doing raffles in Miami, raffles. Not only the the two toddler body brothers. No, forget about the two toddler body brothers. Listen to me. I want you to hear this clearly. The two toddler body brothers are living better today than in the Corona era. One more time. The two toddler body brothers are living better today, selling raffle tickets than in the Corona era when they were giving free government money out. Free SBA money. Free PPP money. Free stimulus checks. Free government grants. Free protection, employment, check protection. They're living better selling raffles. Those people are doing the cheeky boom boom. The cheeky boom boom, papi. They're doing the cheeky boom boom. You know? And where credit is due, porque ustedes son unos lambones que you pay him the $2, the $5, the $10. Give me 30 tickets. Give me 10 tickets. Give me 100 tickets. And you take a watch that is dead in water, that you can't get $30,000 for the watch. You can't get $30,000 for the watch, but you're getting over $250,000. You know? You understand me? And raffle tickets. Papi, it's enough already, man. It's enough. It's an embarrassment that I look at myself and I go, man, it's true what they say. You know, they say a sucker's born every day. I'm that sucker. I'm that sucker. 25 organic watch channel subscribers. Not even, like I said again, not even a happy face. But you do whatever you want, papi. You do whatever you want. Después no lloren, no lloren. There's a line already over there in Dubai ready to give this person the $100, the 100 euros a month to join his, you know, private watch group with perks and prices. You don't need to give me $100 to get perks or prices. I'm going to give it to you like in the next 5 minutes for free. For free. For frogging free. For frogging free, I'm going to give it to you. Pero ustedes palomos, you palomos, are going to pay him 900 euros for the year so he can give you watch prices. No coman mierda. No coman mierda. No sean sapo. No sean sapo y lambones. Somebody sent me a message. It's unbelievable. He says to me, this gentleman sent me the message. Hey, Juan, you've been doing this for a while already. Why don't you charge a fee if we're looking for a watch? Let's say a Rolex Pepsi Jubilee bracelet, and you charge $500 if you just can give us direction. $500. You know, you're looking for a president, looking for an AP, 15500 with a blue dial. You understand? Papi, I don't have time to even scratch my balls. How's that? I got out of character there, but I had to, you know? The person you see here is just a stage character. You don't know who I am for real. Damon, do they know who I am for real? You guys don't know who I am, man. You understand me? So, you know, I'm just trying to tell you, man. I don't, like I said again, I don't even have time, man, to scratch my ear. I don't have time, man. I do this because I blow steam. And at the same time, I try to awaken you people. You know, you're living in a world, man. You're living in a world. It's a Truman Show. Anyway, guys, I'm going to give you a watch market update because you guys deserve that. You know, you guys deserve that. So I'm going to give you a watch market update. Okay, guys, here it goes. I want to know if a gentleman by the Gazoo, I know a gentleman by the name of Amiga, Florida, Amicre, Florida. Is he around there? Is he around there? Because he asked me for a watch market update on a Tudor Black Bay 58. So if he's not here still, I'm not gonna give it to him still, okay? He's asking for a watch market on a Tudor Black Bay 58, 18 karat gold on a leather strap, all right? So if you see Amicre, Florida come in, let me know. Anyway, guys, our first watch market update, it is the AP Royal Oak Yellow Gold Blue Dial. They call this the jumbo, extra thin, 39 millimeter. You know, yellow gold, 15202 BA. And I'm going to tell all of you something, and you do whatever you want. But don't pay for that watch. Whatever you do, don't pay for that watch more than $87,000. And okay? $87,000. You do whatever you want. $87,000. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is an AP Royal Oak Yellow Gold Skeleton. You know, skeleton. Unbelievable. You know, dial. 39 millimeter. 39. Reference number 16204. 16204 BA. BA. B as in boy, A as in apple. You know? And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want. Skeletonized. It's an unbelievable watch. You know, with a Sahara gold. You know, Sahara gold. Unbelievable, this watch. Don't pay for this watch and you do whatever you want. This is, you know, this is a boutique, you know. Price is, you know, you have to go over there to get this watch, you know. You got to go to their, you know, boutique. And take you to the back room and they give you some champagne and they do that to you, you know. Don't pay for that watch. This is an unbelievable watch, but don't pay more than $188,000 in dropping, okay? In dropping. I want you guys to know something. I talked to you guys about how the government of the world, we're not going to use the United States because this is not the United States. This is the world. How they distract you, you know, how they distract you and then they get you. You know, I talked to you about that these people, you know, they come up with different things to get your mind busy. You know, like the Cabbage Patch in the very early 80s, you know, Rubik's Cube, you know, the thing like that. And now they have another one which is called La Boo. La Boo. La Boo. And ladies and gentlemen, you know, you're not going to believe this, but there's a movie that supposedly is coming out. I don't know if it's this week coming or what it is, about Formula One. You know, Formula One race cars, you know. I don't know if you guys know this, but I am a big Formula One fan. Well, I am a you know, race car, you know, fan. I love races, you know. I love NASCAR. I love Indy. But most of all, I do love Formula One. You know, I'm a big time, you know, fanatic. You know, I'm back in the 70s, you know, watching Jackie Stewart, you know, watching Niki Lauda, you understand? Watching James Hunt, you know, Carlos Rotman. I'm a big time, you know, big time, you know. And you got these other racers like, you know, you Ayrton Senna, which to me he was my favorite, you know. And you have Schumacher, and you know, getting better. Nigel Mansell, Nelson Piquet. You know, I can talk to you about that. I'm not a bandwagon, you know, Formula One fan just because Formula One came to Miami, you know, to South Beach in 2022. No. I'm going all the way back, man. I'm going, you know, Alan Prost. I mean, these people were monsters, you know. Nigel Mansell, you know having it out with Ayrton Senna, Schumacher. You know, una jodienda, papá. You know, it's an unbelievable time for me, you know, and it's I'll leave it there for you guys. You know, you understand what I'm trying to say. Let's get back to the watch market, you know, because it's not a funny thing. Our next watch is an AP Royal Oak stainless steel green dial. You know, green dial, chronograph, reference number 26240, 41 millimeter chrono. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 50th anniversary. 50th anniversary. No, you know, no. This watch has a retail price of $40,500. And this watch that I'm going to talk to you about now, it's just to keep on educating you guys in the Corona era, or should I say in 2022. This watch went all the way up. You know, it went all the way up to $150,000. And people were giving away their children's tuition money, giving away their own 401k, taking a little bit from your mother, your father, your uncle, your grandmother, your grandfather to get that watch. And I'm going to tell you today, ladies and gentlemen, the watch market is dead. Don't pay for that watch more than $46,000 and dropping. You do whatever you want, okay? You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is another AP Royal Oak stainless steel blue dial 41 millimeter perpetual calendar. Reference number 26574 stainless steel. This watch at one moment was over. It's an embarrassing thing to say, man. People threw away so much money that it was gross. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. People just really gave away so much money to these people that it was crazy, man. Bobby, these guys were living a better life. Listen to me. And you're going to say, but how do you know, Juan? I know. These people were living, these Muppet boiler room secondary gray watch market dealers. And I'm even going to dare myself to tell you, even backpackers, you know, fly-by Corona, you know, they were fly-by Corona backpackers were living a better lifestyle than rock stars. These people were living disgusting. These people were seeing stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks. You know what a stack is? A stack is $10,000. Stack, you know? Living like that. Eating sushi, eating steak, just living beautiful. You know? Louis Vuitton Nike sneakers, $3,000. You know? Ripped jeans, you know, with a funny name in the back, you know, the tag. Cost $700, you know? Supreme hoodies, you know? Supreme hoodies, you know? Montclair sweaters. Unbelievable. Supreme red backpacks. They were living like rock stars on you guys, you know? And what do we get? We get the short end of the stick. But they're telling you that they're making a comeback and you guys are believing it. You should see the messages you guys, you know, leave me. Oh man, the watch market is up and running, you know. And what you get? I'm getting. You know, te ponen el paredón. En el paredón te ponen. You know what a paredón is? You know when they paredón. You know what's a paredón? You know the guy that they would put a cigarette in his mouth and they would put, you know, a black bandana in his eyes and they would cover it. You know, and they will go there, you know, say your last words, you know, and you say, Javi, pa, you know, this is what these guys do to you. They put you in el paredón, and they give it to you deep. But you do whatever you want. Yep, it's running into war. Look at this, the firing squad. Thank you, Robert. The firing squad, they put you there, you know, and that's how they say it, you know, it's what it is. It's what it is. I already told you, don't pay for the 50th anniversary $46,000 Chrono 26240. And I was talking about the AP Royal stainless steel blue 41 millimeter perpetual calendar stainless steel 26574. I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this watch was over $250,000. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch more than $87,000. You do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Our next watch is another AP Royal Oak white gold 41 millimeter perpetual calendar. Reference number 26574 BC. Limited to 200 pieces. 200 pieces, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable watch. You know, with the blue crystal sky. You know, it's unbelievable, this watch. You know, it's enough. They call this watch, ladies and gentlemen, you know, to some of you that don't know this, they call this watch, again, the John Mayer. You know, he had a John Mayer watch and Rolex with the green dial. Now he has a John Mayer with the AP white gold, you know, with that beautiful dial. You know, unbelievable. And ladies and gentlemen, you're talking about an unbelievable watch, limited to 200 pieces, and you had to be, you had to be a whale. You had to be colossal. You had to be, I mean, you had to be something out of this world. And when this watch came out, it's unbelievable. This watch was over. You ready for this, guys? And this wasn't the Corona era. This was last year. This watch came out of the gates between $350,000 and $400,000 for that John Mayer. Unbelievable, this John Mayer. You know, extra light. It was unbelievable, this watch. You know, it's unbelievable. And I'm gonna tell you because you guys need to know this. You know, it was a boutique. You know, you had to be something big, a beautiful last name like DuPont. You know, like J.P. Morgan. You understand? Like a Rothschild. You understand? You understand? You had to be something big. You know, a monster to get this watch. And it was at that price. And I'm gonna tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch. Don't pay for that watch more than $225,000 and dropping. You do whatever you want. It's your money. It's your money. I'm going to talk to you about another watch, another AP. Another AP. AP Royal Oak Titanium. Jumbo. Extra light. You know, 39 millimeter. Reference number 16202XT. With a smoke burgundy dial. Smoke burgundy dial. You know, I was able to get the price, the retail price of this watch. Titanium, light feather. Light titanium, ladies and gentlemen. It's $104,300. $104,300. Unbelievable. Yes, red, burgundy. The burgundy dial, unbelievable. This burgundy dial, you know, with the pink gold applied to the Royal Oak hands. This is a monster watch, papi. This is, if I tell you the price that it was out there, you're gonna go, wow. I'm gonna tell you right off the bat. You're talking about, papi. People were sitting in their Ferrari Italia pushing the button, bing, 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 wire, sending the money to these Muppet boiler rooms for this watch. $600,000, $575, sending the money, boom, 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 boom. This is the burgundy. This is titanium, you know, titanium. Extra light in the case. You know, this is unbelievable, this watch with the burgundy smoke dial. It's unbelievable, this watch. And ladies and gentlemen, like I told you, I was able to get the retail price of this watch, $104,300. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. But don't, maybe it is, maybe platinum is better. But this one is more expensive than the platinum. That's the crazy thing. Don't pay for that watch more than $182,000, all right? Don't pay more. We're talking about a $600,000 time machine now at $200,000. Exactly. Well, who knows? It's what it is. If it is. Our next watch, ladies and gentlemen, is an AP Royal Oak Rose Gold. AP Royal Oak Rose Gold. Blue dial. Reference number 26574OR. 41 millimeter perpetual calendar. You know, I'm giving you all the perpetual. So you know what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen. You know, with the newest blue dial. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want with your money. You do whatever you want. But don't pay for this watch. And this is another watch. That it was, man, not too long ago, they were asking for this watch $275,000. $275,000. You know, and I'm going to tell you right now because you guys need to know, don't pay for that watch more than $137,000, right? Don't pay more than 130. Listen, don't listen to those people, man. These people are full of lies. These people are ruthless. These people will sell out their own mother. These people will sell out their own grandmother. These people will sell out their own child. That's right, you heard that. These people are terrible. These people are cretins, man. These people are terrible. These people are terrible, Papi. You don't understand that, Papa. You don't understand the world you're living in. There's no respect for, la humanidad. Humanity is over, bro. You know, you must be asking, how the hell did we find this guy, Juan Felipe Nieves, man? You know, how the hell did we find this guy? And I'm gonna tell you, man. I'll tell you straight up, man. I just saw so much injustice of people that bought watches. You know, I'm gonna make it simple. Watches that they bought for $50,000, $50,000, and when the hard times came, and they went back, to the guy you worship, that Muppet Boiler Room dealer, he would tell you in your face, I can give you for the watch 18,000. And there was people like that all over the place, Papi, all over the place, and that's when I decided. I said, no, man, that's not gonna happen in my frogging, time. It's not my watch. It's gonna happen, and that's where I became who I became, right, guys? Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go now to the Vacheron Constantin Overseas Rose Gold Blue Dial. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I said it wrong. I take it back. It's the Vacheron Constantin 41.5 millimeter white gold 4300V skeletonized open work. Unbelievable watch. Thank you, Mr. Bunn, for the super chat. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Bunn, for the super chat. This is a Vacheron Constantin. It's a 41.5 millimeter casing. It's white gold. It's a 4300V skeletonized open work. It's unbelievable. Full white gold with the blue gauges. With the blue gauges and all that stuff. Perpetual calendar with a moon face. And ladies and gentlemen, this watch is under retail. And when Vacheron Constantin got hot, people were selling the watch all over the place, and they were making money. They were all cashing in. The boutique dealers of Vacheron were getting greased up. Greased up in the back door, greased up in the back door. You're very welcome, Mr. Bond. You're very welcome. They were getting all greased up. And ladies and gentlemen, I gotta tell you this. This watch a woman was sold for $325,000. $325,000. And I'm gonna make it simple for you guys. Don't pay for that watch. Don't pay, and it has to be full set with all the bells and whistles. Use slighted condition, but with all the bells and whistles. And I'm gonna tell you, don't pay for that watch. It's an embarrassment, ladies and gentlemen. It's an embarrassment. Don't pay more than $113,000. And let me tell you something. I'm telling you $113,000, and that watch is still dropping. Exactly. We have a gentleman here by the name of Mr. Ziegel. He's telling you and dropping more. It's dropping more. I'm telling you 113 because I can tell you right now, if I really want to tell you what, at least I will pay if they come and see me. You want to know how much I will pay? I already tell you the price, what you should pay. But you should wait until, next Friday's July and August. But if they come to me with that watch, with that beautiful VC, I've always told you, the Vacheron Constantin, the overseas models with the most beautiful blue dial in the game. I mean, there are unbelievable watches. The craftsmanship You know, the way they do their blue dials, everything they do. But I wouldn't pay for that watch. You ready for this? This is just me. If you come to me, I need this watch. Not that I'm gonna, take advantage of you. No, 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 no. I said, Bobby, you're asking me for the watch, $113,000. Don't get scared, guys. I wouldn't pay more than I wouldn't pay. You know what? I can't even tell you because, you know, a gentleman there put $95,000. So we'll leave it there, okay? We'll leave it there. But I wouldn't want to tell you what I would pay. And I wouldn't tell you. I wouldn't want to tell you. But don't pay more than $113,000. Ladies and gentlemen, here's another watch that, it's an embarrassment, this watch. This is a Vacheron Constantin Overseas limited edition. 100 pieces ever made. Ever made. Chronograph with a frosted dial. Stainless steel. Collector's dream, collector's choice. Collector's grade, collector's unit. A discontinued watch to flim flam you. And this watch, ladies and gentlemen, it's sad. It's sad to talk about this watch. It's the reference number is the 491150. 495150. Excuse me, 49150. And I'm gonna tell you, 100 pieces ever made. Unbelievable, this watch. Unbelievable. And I'm gonna tell you, ladies and gentlemen, look for the watch. Look for it. Don't pay for that watch. How much you think I'm gonna say for that watch? Go ahead, guys. I'm gonna drink some ginseng. How much? 35. Okay. Go ahead. He says 35. How much am I gonna say for the Vacheron Constantin Overseas? How much? Nobody knows? The chronograph, frosted, black down. Reference, look, Google it. 49150. Coño, look at that, man. Isn't that an insult? Siga, isn't that an insult? Isn't that an insult? 100 pieces. 100 pieces, man. 100 pieces. Siga just told you 18. Siga, did you say 18,000? Siga, did you say 18,000? Just say yes or no, Siga. Okay. 35. No, okay. I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that watch. Don't be dumbskis. Don't pay for that watch. Ready? Here it goes. Don't pay more than $24,000. But Siga said 18,000. He wasn't that far. 100 units around the world. Discontinue unit. Discontinue dream. Watch market dead. Watch market dead. You do whatever you want. I don't know what I'm telling you. I'm going to give you one here now that you're not going to believe this. This is the Vacheron Constantin Overseas 41 millimeter rose gold. The 4500 V, blue dial, with the most beautiful blue dial in the game. This is the old reference. We have now the 4520, right? This is the 4500. To me, this is a beautiful watch. To me, man, when I see that watch at $30,000, I'm a buyer. At $30,000. At $30,000, I'm a buyer. It's tanking. It's tanking, I'm telling you. It's tanking. This watch, the retail price of this watch is $60,500. Listen and learn, boys. Don't get fleeced and flim-flam out there. Listen and learn. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. With like I said again, with the most beautiful blue dial in the watch game. Or should I say in the watch industry. It's beautiful blue dial. 60,000. $60,500. Ladies and gentlemen, do yourself a favor. It is a beautiful picture. I mean, a beautiful watch, excuse me. Beautiful watch. Don't pay for that watch and you do whatever you want. But don't pay more. It's dropping, guys. I'm shocked. I've been studying that watch for 2 years. The way it's behaved. And that watch was at one moment $115,000. Don't pay more than $42,000. Don't pay more than $42,000. All right? Don't pay more than $42,000. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about Patek Philippe. We're going to be talking about Patek Philippe. We're going to be talking about the Patek Philippe Nautilus. White gold. Perpetual calendar with a blue dial. The 5740. 5740. Perpetual calendar. Retail price of this watch is $169,220. It's a monster watch. It's a monster watch. It's a monster watch. You put that watch on and you go to a pub with a pair of, ripped short jeans, and a pair of flip-flops, and a t-shirt, and you have that watch on, that's all you need. That's all you need. This is a monster watch. You don't have to talk about it too much. But this watch in the Corona era was over easy, $450,000. $450,000. White gold. People were just sending the money out and that's it, paying for the watch. And I'm going to tell you, I have a lot of people right now, they're going to listen to this one. They want to hear the price of this one. And I'm going to tell you, you do whatever you want. Okay, 180,000. One more, give me two more. He said 180. Go ahead. Okay. That's a nice watch, Alberto. That's a nice watch. I'm telling you that 5740. Te tira la panty. No, Mr. Donald, you went two down. No, not that, Papa. Take a try. I'm gonna tell you, don't pay for that watch. Wow, 260. Okay, here it goes. You ready, guys? Don't pay for that watch. And it's because it's gone up. Because if you go back to a couple of months of my watch market update, that watch, I had it at one moment at $179,000. I had it at $179,000. You heard the retail price. You guys heard the retail price, 169,220. And I had it at that price. But I have to be honest and tell you the truth because it's what it is. It's gone back up again, like that again, and it'll go back down again. Well, my prices, it'll keep on dropping. It'll keep on dropping. Don't pay for that watch. Don't pay for that 5740 blue dial perpetual calendar, white gold. Don't pay more than $194,000. All right, guys? $194,000. Yeah, you remember, huh? I'm telling you, it was over $300,000. But let me tell you something. Out of all the Nautilus, some people tell you the 5712, some people tell you the 5980, right? Those are the beasts. But in my what I say, el reloj más bravo, el bravo, la fuerza azul, la fuerza is that 5740. Ese es el caballo, ese es el caballo. It's an unbelievable watch. You put that thing on, and the girls throw you panties, throw you panties full of shit. Unbelievable, but true. I'm telling you. So don't pay for that, all right, guys? Ladies and gentlemen, there was another watch that came out, in that Corona era. We're talking about the Patek Philippe Nautilus. Rose gold. Blue. I call it the blue jean dial. A 40.5 millimeter casing. It was at one moment over $675,000. $675,000. It's an unbelievable watch. Unbelievable. The blue jean dial. The 5990. This watch, when it was first released, It had a price of $107,000. The retail price was $107,000. So you can go from the, that Corona era, 2021, the way it was moving, And then as time went on, this watch went all the way up as the retail price of the retail price. Wow, for 195, okay? It went all the way, the retail price, to $132,509. Okay? And I'm gonna tell you, because I'm a nice guy, don't pay for that watch, and I mean this, don't pay for that watch more than $207,000. It is what it is. All right, guys? The retail price is $132,509. Okay? Plus your taxes. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk to you about a Rolex White Gold Captain America. Reference number 116509. Retail price is $40,600. And at one moment, it was over $75,000. When I give you this price, you understand. Don't pay for that watch. No matter they keep on telling you it's the cousin of John Mayer. Don't pay more. Wow, Mr. Donut. Wow. 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 Zeigler's the man. That's all. Zeigler's the man. Zeigler's the man. Don't pay more than $34,000. Don't pay more than $34,000 for the blue dial with the red, white, and blue gauges. Second, hour, minutes. Don't pay more than $34,000. Don't pay more than $34,000. You do whatever you want, and don't pay more than $34,000. And you want a full set. Full set, you want it. You do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, there's another watch. It is the Rolex Reformed Tomato Can. Good for you, Papa. Good for you. Don't pay for the Rolex Titanium Challenge 50 millimeter. 50 millimeter. Reference number 126067. I'm going to tell you just straight up. Don't pay for that watch. 50. It's like a clock. Like a big alarm clock in your hand. It's this big. 50 millimeter. Don't pay for that watch. We're talking about used slider condition material watch. But don't pay for that watch. Here it goes, boys. Don't pay for it more than $36,000 and dropping. All right, guys? And this is my last watch of the day. My last watch. We're going to be talking about a Tudor. A Tudor. Black Bay 58. 18 karat gold. 18 karat gold. 18 karat gold. With a leather strap. Leather strap. Nice watch, Retail price is $19,500. Thank you, Pete. Thank you, Pete, so much for that super chat. Thank you very much, Pete. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Pete. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you so much. Without you guys supporting this channel is just going to disappear. But it's what it is, How much? $12,000. Okay. $12,000. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, there's a gentleman that asked, okay, Achilles 9850. Okay. You ready for this, guys? This is it, the last one. Don't pay for that watch. Here it goes. Don't pay more. And I mean, don't pay more. Wow, Mr. Donald, 78. Don't pay more than $8,300. Right, guys? There it is, guys. I hope you enjoyed the watch market update. I hope you learned something from what these flim flammers are doing with you guys. Looking to get you guys to buy membership to private watch groups and all that good stuff. I hope you learned something. I hope, use all this, put it away in your drawer. So when you need to use it, you can use it, and you know how to explain things and you know how to talk. The more you talk like a watch dealer, the more they're going to respect you, man, right? If you talk like un lambón, they'll treat you like a lambón, right? We have a private watch group under my name, Juan Felipe Nieves. If you would like to join the group, please try. It's under my name. Go to Opus and Time Watches and request, and maybe Kino and Samantha will let you in. Right, guys? Right? And like me and sweet Kid Kino will say every week, take care and brush your hair. Peace.